What's going on, guys? We're back with episode 4. It's Drake Allen. We're here with A&W Athletics. Guys, we got somebody new on the scene. I brought Corey Watson back from behind the cameras to bring him out here on the set. Corey, introduce yourself to the people.
What's up? I'm one of the twins. Me and Chad, we do Bad Twins Productions. We've been behind the cameras. He's been talking to me, so we figured we might as well just bring me on camera and we'll just do some chatting and have basically a regular show just with me here.
We might be arguing. Who knows? I mean, we don't really care. Somehow Nolan is still on the set.
Still here.
I mean, it's actually unbelievable. Nolan, congratulations that you are still here, buddy. I'm impressed.
Moved him back to third chair.
Yeah. What do you say, Corey? That's why he's what? What?
He's the best. He's not the best in the business for no reason, fellas.
We love you, Nolan. We love you. Dude, let's dive into it, though, guys. First topic I want to talk about is it's opening week for the MLB. There's 162 games in the season. I still consider this preseason, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
For the first 30, it's preseason.
Well, we're 4 games in, and there's 162 games in the season, guys. It's preseason.
It's too long. Yeah. Baseball season is too long. 160 games, you could just drop it to 100, and I think we'd probably be okay.
I'm curious to see if Boston repeats. The biggest thing I've noticed in the MLB news so far this week, it being opening week, is what Bryce Harper did.
Yeah.
Right.
Bryce, he played against his old team, the Washington Nationals, earlier this week, but he didn't just
first of all,
with kindness.
Yeah,
he shitted on him, to be honest.
Well, first of all, he went 0 for 2 at the plate, so he's giving the Nationals everything they want. He strikes out his first 2 at bats, then Nolan was telling me he just goes off.
Yeah, he proceeded to almost hit a cycle. The only thing he was missing was a triple. He hit a home run, double, and a single. I mean, hit it on him.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, speaking of Bryce Harper, I was talking to Corey before we started filming this. Bryce Harper's money is ridiculous. And I know we mentioned it I think it was the previous episode, but it is ridiculous. He's at a 13. What is it?
It's a 13-year, $330 million contract.
And
that's insane.
Corey asked me, and I completely understandable for anybody out there who's watching that does not understand the payroll of professional sports. The way these MLB guys are capable of getting away with it is there's no salary cap. This and soccer are the only ones that can get away with paying their athletes whatever they want. Big money takes little money. My point is that when you're on a salary cap, you're obviously set. You have a set financial limit and budget to what your franchise can spend. Regardless of how much money your organization has in the bank, you can only pay them X amount because that's what the league standards go by. So, which is where you dive into rookie clauses and CBA rookie contracts and why they've limited that, and rookies can't make big time money nowadays like they could in the NFL. I mean, we won't dive into all that weird stuff, but again, that's real. And the leagues have tried to put a handle back to get back on that, and they honestly have done a decent part for the most. They're getting their money back. It's for rookies who come in the league, other than MLB.
Yeah.
Other than MLB, for rookies who come in the league in the NBA and the NFL, you have to prove yourself. You can't come in the league and sign big time contract money like guys who have been in the league for 14 or 15 years have, or even 8 years, who are considered superstars just because you're coming in highly touted. Doesn't mean you get that money because of the rookie clause in the CBA contract. You with your 3-year or 4-year contract.
Well, you haven't proven yourself.
You haven't proven yourself. That's exactly right.
But I mean, here's the thing. You really think that they're going to get that kind of payoff of someone like Bryce Harper for over 13 years? Is that going to be proved to be worth it? Or is it going to be dude, this guy pulled an arm. He's not going to be able to play?
I'd imagine towards the tail end of his 13-year. I'm curious to see how much of that's guaranteed, and I'm curious to see, because that's what's important. What's important is what's guaranteed, because after what's guaranteed doesn't matter. Meaning whatever in the 3, I don't know, look it up. Eventually you can look up what's guaranteed of Bryce Harper's deal, because after that doesn't matter. I mean, obviously it was glitz and glamour. They could pay him $330 million. That's all that's saying.
Now, is the MLB a players' league like the NBA is, or is it more of a coaches GM league? Because I had Noah look up the salaries for the GMs and stuff for the Phillies, and he signed their GM has like a $300 million 10-year contract. So I mean, what do you think about?
Yeah. The managers in that's a good question. Managers in MLB are actually hold more of a. I need to articulate this in such a way. Okay, I'll start saying who was the Yankees manager when they won the 5 World Series, Nolan? It was Joe. It was not Joe. Joe Tessitore is the damn NCAA football guy. It was I can't remember. Long story short, they do pay managers well because you're paying these guys. They actually, I don't know why that is, but there's more of a respect for the managers. And they do hold longer of a career. Like you said, that's the thing I've noticed right there. He's on a 10-year. The money's not as surprising. It's the contract length.
Oh, yeah, the commitment to
The
that
commitment to
particular
that coach and that organization that they're willing to do. That's
Billy Martin is the
no. When Derek Jeter was the coach, the very when he was, just type in 2001 New York Yankees World Series team. Anyways, my point is this, Corey. It's actually a respectable sport in the fact that you get paid what you produce. There's no and in the NFL, there's a lot of guys who I've talked to who I know will have direct ties. We're going to bring KB on Sunday. Kendall Bars, my buddy, whose cousin plays on the Denver Broncos. I spoke with you guys last time about him. He will be on next episode. But like I was talking with him about it, and I know Aaron Colvin. Okay, you either have your money and have proved yourself, or you don't have money and you're working to prove yourself. And even the guys who have money, just because they have money, they could be on the tail end of it because they just got paid for what they did years ago. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the MLB, they're the only league that gets you immediately what you deserve in retrospect. But in hindsight 2020, franchises could be overpaying young athletes.
Yeah,
yes,
losing money on the.
but they also it makes other franchises, Corey, obsolete, because if I can pay you more than him, regardless of him being a better ball player, he's going to take the more money.
That's why New York's always stacked.
This is why I think it's silly that what's his name, the OU Kyler, is going football instead of baseball right now.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I prefer football to baseball like Kyler, but I'm just saying, long term, I think he'd be safer going that way.
Yeah.
Long term, yeah.
Well, you know what's probably crazy? I never really even thought about this. Is that if he did, he can still do it.
He still could. Yeah. No. He can have both offers on the table and take.
He could.
either
Well,
one.
obviously, he did give Oakland his money back, but meaning if he somehow has an injury that kicks him off the football field, but he can still
play some ball. Yeah. Speaking of NFL, I know you want to go to the Dolphins now. Or you want to talk some Miami?
No, what I want to know is who was that damn MLB?
So I got it right here. I got it pulled up. It's Joe Torre.
Joe Torre. See, I wasn't okay. I said Joe Tessitore. That was the NCAA game day guy. You know, the Home Depot guy. But Joe Torre. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Okay, a guy like that. No, we'll move on to NFL here in a second. But a guy like that guy, they would pay that dude as much money as he wanted to stay. But in the NBA and the NFL, they're so quick to move past it, dude, that it's hard to see your bill. That's why Bill Belichick's rare, is because that franchise is actually committed to him, man. They're like, as long as you want, coach. Yeah. However much you want, coach.
Steelers have stuck it out for a pretty good long time.
With Tomlin, I mean,
he's not that long. Not Bill Belichick.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
not Joe Torre long. Not Bill Belichick long.
But they don't hit a rough patch like that.
What was that Dodgers guy we used to laugh at who would be making fun of the Bavacqua guy? What was that guy? What was that guy's manager's name? The L.A. Dodgers guy we used to make fun of talking about Bavacqua.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You got to type that up. Just type in L.A. Dodgers Bavacqua. It'll pop up. Trust me. But like that, the Dodgers were committed to him. They're with him forever. Like, that's what's cool about that.
Yeah.
But it's happened with very select few guys in NFL and NBA. Another guy in the NBA would be Phil Jackson. The Chicago Bulls bent over backwards for him when he was there. The LA Lakers bent over backwards for him when he was there. But Another one in the NBA, Greg Popovich of San Antonio Spurs, have been over backwards for him. He's still there. But you guys got, they're few in between. I mean, our Oklahoma City Thunder, we're going to talk about this later. Their coach, to me, is on the hot seat. And that's now, I was even talking about this privately, just internally on our videos with just Oklahoma City Thunder's fans. And if you were a fan, you would know it by watching, but now it's hit nationwide. I mean, they're starting to put Billy Donovan on the seat on ESPN. I'm seeing it on major networks now. But like I said, we'll dive into that here in a second. I want to talk about what you were saying, Corey.
Yeah,
I want to go.
the Dolphins,
I want to move on to the NFL. Yeah, well, Miami. Well, we're going to talk about the draft, and then I'll talk about where I think Miami should go in the direction. The biggest thing we got coming up right now in the NFL, the 25th through the 27th, we have the NFL draft. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. Got a buddy of mine who's going to go see it. Our good buddy Eric, he played. Do what?
Sproul Daddy,
Yeah,
Eric Sproul.
Eric Sproul, yeah. He's coming on. He's coming on the episode. He will be here at the end of the month. He's going to the draft on the 25th through the 27th. Then he's coming directly here, and he's hopping on our video. He'll be on the A&W Athletics show. He was a starting offensive lineman for the University of Tulsa. Again, I don't want to give this guy too much of an introduction because he's such a damn goofball. I don't want to waste energy on him unless he's not here. So, well, you guys will see him. He's funnier than hell. With that episode, I'm sure it'll be good. But I got a buddy who's going to the draft. He's super stoked about it. It'll be an interesting draft. Yes, the Dolphins, we've got to go with the quarterback. I think there's a lot of hype around them. That's all they've talked about is quarterback.
But we don't have a high draft pick, so we got to pick up a kind of a subpar backup quarterback.
Yeah, which brings us to what we were kind of wanting to talk about. They got a 13th pick. They don't have a top 10 draft pick. It'd be interesting to see if they had enough nuts to climb up the board and trade a pick to go get one of these guys. Obviously, Kyler's probably out of the picture. I'm sure he goes top 5 somewhere. Maybe Arizona, maybe Oakland. He goes top 5. He's probably nowhere near around us unless we make some ballsy move and trade up. Dude, I mean, just climb the board on draft day.
I don't think so. I think that Texas Tech coach that's coaching at Arizona now, what's his name?
Oh wow, Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Kingsbury.
Anyways, he wants that style.
Yeah.
He's planning on bringing that style.
Well, if it's not him, they're talking about Gruden. But then if that's the case, I know you like Carr, but that'd be interesting to see what they do with Carr and Murray just at least be in the same system. I don't mean they run a duel, but he's gonna learn from Carr. You like Carr? Carr's a quarterback. And that's a West Coast offense with a guy who can run a track meet. I mean, that's to say the least.
Yeah.
But if it
goes according to plan.
If it goes according to plan, Kyler Murray should be off the board. Should be. And I think Dwayne Haskins will be around and Drew Lock will be. Both of those guys are very good caliber guys that I think the Dolphins can go with.
Who's better though? So you obviously have Drew's from Mizzou.
Yeah.
And what was the other one's name?
Haskins. Dwayne Haskins.
He's at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Now, Drew might be the better quarterback, but he played for the worst team.
Yep.
So the other guy looks better just simply because he had the stronger team that year.
And his stats were padded.
Yeah.
His stats were padded. To complement your point, his stats were padded. He broke the Big Ten passing record, breaking Drew Brees' single-season touchdown record for touchdown passes. I think it was like 45 he had thrown last season in the Big Ten. Unreal. Broke Drew Brees' record. But to complement your point, his stats were padded because he played for the better team. He played for the better ball club, which is why he's throwing to better receivers. He's got a better O-line. He's got more time, and he's got a better defense to back him up. He's getting better field position. He's getting better opportunities. But Drew Lock, I don't know what Drew Lock's capable of because he's very accurate.
He's good.
We've seen actually I've seen what he's been capable of at the NCAA level. I just know what I'm getting with Haskins because it's all out there.
I feel like I just don't know if they very well could be. They could be franchise quarterbacks and guys who you could build a team around. I don't know. I don't know enough about them, and it's the kind of things you want to wait and see. But I'll tell you what, I think, obviously it could be a bad year for the Dolphins, but like I said, you might, if you were the Dolphins, I think you'd like this idea is wait another year and pick up Jalen.
No, Tua.
No.
If we wait another year, we're getting the
yeah.
flying Hawaiian.
Yeah.
We're getting the flying Hawaiian, the
We're getting
hefty
the
lefty.
Bring in
That's
the
what's
lefty.
going on. Yeah, if we're hanging around, I love you, Jalen, and I hope the best for you this year. And if we do play you, we're going to kick your excuse my language. Sorry, Chad. You do have to do some editorial process. Corey got me excited. We're not picking up Jalen.
No.
Jalen, I hope you have a good year. I hope we play y'all in the playoffs. I cannot wait.
There's a good chance of
I cannot wait. But if we wait another year, which is a good potential that it could potentially happen.
Yeah.
It really could. We could not get what we want. What we want on the board could not be there, and they could just decide that they don't want to invest that money into the player that's there for them, which could happen, and they could go on to the next best player that benefits the team, whether it be a D lineman, a wide receiver.
Like I mean, you might just we might have a sleeper cell in there. Like I said, one of these guys that Miami picks up might just be one of those guys that's like, where did he come from? You know?
If Tom Brady,
Yeah.
to complement your point, if Tom Brady can get picked the last pick, the last round of the last draft, or the last pick of the last round in the draft, then yes, there's sleepers everywhere. Everywhere there's sleepers. Just needs opportunity, and really just opportunity for the athlete.
Or you get bad luck and you get the guy that got drafted before Peyton Manning did.
Yeah.
Your franchise just dies with him.
Ryan Leaf,
Yeah.
awful. Yeah.
walking in people's homes. What a real winner. I hope you please put his mug shot up here, Chad.
I want to know where he
Thank
is
you.
today.
With them, just
Golly.
like this.
Where is he now?
I assume at this point it's up here. Look at this loser. Golly. And what's hilarious is he's back in broadcasting now. People don't forget, dude.
Dude, where's he broadcasting?
I seen him on a show, dude, and I don't know who the hell hired him.
You know that they have
I don't know, dude.
legend on the show tonight.
Yeah, we'll move past this one. Like this never happened,
It's
dude.
not like he hasn't been to rehab 3 times.
I get it, dude. People
That's
need,
awesome.
I know. I'm not trying to turn this into
Yeah,
a
we don't
roasting
need that,
Ryan
sir.
Leaf special, but
We don't need
hey,
that.
look, I'll hop on the bus that everybody's been on before. I mean, Ryan, you're a loser. Jeez, but dude, yeah, I wouldn't be displeased with either of those quarterbacks though. But to give you I kind of want to go back to the NFL draft. We were talking about the quarterbacks. There's some special quarterbacks that will go early. I do think that Drew Lock, Dwayne Haskins, and Kyler Murray, all three quarterbacks, will go within the top 15. Really good quarterbacks. But the first two picks off the board are going to be Nick Bosa and Quinn Williams. Nick Bosa is from Ohio State. He's a he's not he's a DN, but he's not the best defensive lineman. Quinn Williams he's a defensive tackle, and that dude I think he eats 8 meals a day. 2 each time he goes to eat. He gets 2 breakfasts at the same time and 2 lunches at the same time and 2 dinners. I'm not playing around. I'm not, dude. The kid is an animal. Chad will throw some highlights on here. I mean, this kid is a beast, dude. But the only reason I think Quinn Williams is going to go higher than him because he's coming off the edge. He's at the defensive end spot, which
hard.
yeah. I mean, if you get a good pass rusher that's coming off the edge. I hate to sound cliche. That's tough because they get that space that they want, and they're coming harder at the Q with more than likely being untouched if they do their job correctly.
Getting that bonus for every time they get a
But
sack,
those,
too.
those two, getting a pancake, or whatever. But those 2 guys will be the first ones off the board. It'll be interesting to see really how the whole first round unfolds. I hope the Dolphins somehow get an Alabama player because we've done it for the past 2 years. Last year we drafted Mika Fitzpatrick. The year before that we drafted Kenyon Drake. It's turned out to be perfect. Our starting running back now is Kenyon Drake. Our starting safety now is Mika Fitzpatrick. Both of them earned starting roles on our franchise. It's been awesome. I hope if we don't get a quarterback, I wouldn't mind getting a D-back. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting a receiver. I don't know, dude.
We got a lot of holes to fill.
I wouldn't mind getting a receiver, really. I'm trying to think from Alabama who's coming out of Alabama right now at receiver in the draft.
We're not going to have very many because all of our wide receivers last year were all sophomores and freshmen. They're all right there with Tua's class.
What was his name? Chris. What was our number 1 receiver last year, buddy?
Jared Judy.
Yeah, is he coming out?
He's
Jared's
sophomore.
not coming
He's
back.
gonna be a junior this coming
Okay,
year.
so our best receiver is not even coming out of draft. Damn it. Then
Henry Ruggs, junior.
Ruggs is a junior.
Alabama's receiving core is still.
I wouldn't mind taking Josh Jacobs to get another running back.
Yeah.
I'd take Josh Jacobs from Alabama. That'd be fine. Of course, I'm just talking about what we could take from Alabama and Miami. That'd be cool. But guys, this is a special time of the year for football. All these kids are getting ready to be drafted, and what's even cool? What's even way cooler is that I'm gonna bring Kendall on Sunday, and we'll talk more about this. But his cousin right now is in a standoff with the Denver Broncos because he's a free agent right now, and he's trying to be the highest paid corner in the league, and he's in a standoff with John Elway, and he's not going to OTAs right now. Yesterday they reported for the first OTAs, and he didn't go report. Well, so now they're reporting, Chris Harris Jr. in a standoff with the Denver Broncos, and I was talking to KB about this. Well, so all of a sudden, that's just going to start rolling, right? Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. It'll be interesting to see how that thing pans out. And
It's a ballsy move going in a pissing contest with John Elway.
well, I mean, it's public knowledge at this point.
Yeah.
It's public knowledge at this point. I mean, he didn't report to OTAs. I mean, it's been released in press releases, and media outlets are covering it. And
I mean, the ball's in his court. It can only work out for him no matter what.
Yeah, and what to go on to compliment what I'm trying to say is that not only does he feel he's deserving of that money, which he very much so is, but Von Miller.
Yeah.
Von Miller and Chris Harris are the two longest Denver Bronco players on the active roster right now. Von Miller was a top 5 draft pick in the first round for Denver Broncos. Chris Harris went undrafted. There goes to tell you what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, and he's going to be arguably the highest paid defensive player in the league. I mean, that's just opportunity and hard-ass work, really.
Yeah.
Because you can tell me how many times that man was not supposed to go to the league, or that thought maybe have crossed his mind, or how many people told him.
How many guys in the locker room were like, you'll be here a year, maybe.
Yeah.
You'll be here for a couple games.
How many rounds that went by and how many picks on draft night.
Yeah. That's just, I mean, we've all seen movies. We've watched
That's a real-life story. That's why I want to bring Kendall on. I want to bring Kendall on so you can kind of hear from his cousin's perspective what that's like to be really close with a guy who's arguably the best at what he does in his particular position. I'm very excited for that.
Classic underdog story, man.
Classic underdog story. I'm going to move on to talk about our boys. Yep, that's right. We're moving on to the segment of Thunder the up. Yep. But I don't know. I don't really got a whole lot to be excited about as a team. In our last 5 games, I'll give you the rundown. We'll run through numbers. Last 5 games, tell them, Nolan.
We are 2-3.
Last 10 games,
3-7. It has not been a good stretch for us, guys.
number
Really
1 in
has
the
not.
West right now, Nolan.
Golden State.
Number 7 and number 8 in the West right now.
Spurs at 7. Oklahoma City at 8. That's where we're sitting.
Yeah, number 2 right now, we got Denver 3, Houston 4, Portland 5, Utah 6, Clippers. We're San Antonio and Oklahoma City are 8.5 games back in first place.
We were a 3rd seed.
We were
a 3rd seed.
We were as highest this year as 3rd in the West. 3rd in the West. I don't really want to go on and talk about how bad we've been because there's something really cool that happened last night.
You talking about Mr. Triple Double?
Yeah, I'm talking about Mr. Trip Dub. I'm talking about Mr. Trip Dub and what he did against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Only one other person's done it too.
Wilt Chamberlain. What was cool is that Russell Westbrook went for his triple dub like he always does, as everybody knows. He's known as Mr. Trip Dub. But this time, he went for 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists. You could tell his intent was to obviously do what he did. Obviously, he accomplished it.
Yep.
But at the end of the first quarter, they ran his stats, and I was watching the game. He had 0 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. I said to myself, that is the weirdest line. I was like, this is weird as hell. He's got no points and 10 rebounds, dude. What the hell is he doing? I mean, the guy's deliberately, intentionally not scoring the basketball. I'm like, what in the hell is he doing? He's going crazy on rebounds and just passing the shit out of the ball. Well, obviously the scoring comes for him later, but clearly his intent was this. I mean, he knew what was going on. I mean, you should have seen the place on the 20th rebound.
No.
Dude,
blew up. Chesapeake Arena blew up.
Dude, it was going crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And what was funny was that Steven Adams was going for the same rebound. And fighting each other for the rebound. And then, no, right after it, Chad, I'm sure you'll run a clip, but right after it, Russ got the rebound over him, and Steven Adams is going up with him. Obviously, they're in the moment. And he just comes down and realizes it, and he's jumping up and down. I'm like, you dumbass, you were just sitting there trying to rebound over his ass. Now you're jumping up and down like a little school kid.
Well, Steven Adams, he's a caveman. We know that.
What's your opinion of Steven Adams?
I mean, he's great at what he does, man. I mean, he's just like I said, he's our goofy caveman. He's what?
Discount Aquaman.
Discount Aquaman. Yeah, he's our discount Aquaman.
He's been playing. Hey, the past 2 games, Steven, the past 2 games, thank you. You played well, but other than that, he's been rough since All-Star break. Everybody has. Not just you, Steven, everybody.
Playing lazy basketball. Playing selfish basketball.
Yeah.
Guys like Russ. Like, I mean, like, regardless of how amazing what he did was.
Yeah, we're going to dive into that here in a second. We will. But going on, I also want to pile on talking about his miraculous performance, because it was. Mm-hmm. It was miraculous. The only other player to drop a triple-double with 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists was Wilt Chamberlain. So he is in company with only one other gentleman, and it's the only other person to score 100 points in the game of basketball. And he's a Hall of Famer. Russell, I'm sure, will go on to be one himself. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, Corey, to transition to what you were saying, yes, I don't think this performance takes away from what recently he's done. Stephen A. Smith recently made a comment, and we're gonna give our 2 cents on this. But he called Russell Westbrook OKC's most important player. Okay, this is clearly coming directly after a miraculous performance. If anything, and if you follow the Thunder like we all 3 do in this room, you know what type of consistency and production he has brought to the table and how efficient he has been this season, which is not that much.
He's a fantastic player. There's no doubt about it. But that is, I mean, it's selfish man basketball. I mean, like I said, what you were talking about earlier, we knew what he was doing. You could tell what he was going for the entire first quarter. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, we know what he's doing. And then you have somebody like, Adams going up for a rebound, and then like him being like, nope, that's my bad. That's me. It's like, dude. Yeah. It's like, just let the man grab the ball and send you back down the court to go score, dude.
What were you going to say, Nolan? What were you about to say?
No, I was just going to say he's stressful sometimes. He's loose with the ball. He's a loose cannon.
He's not. Here's the thing. He just needs to be consistent. Because if he gave us what he did last night, every night, then I'm fine with that. But it's not. It's not every night. And, there's a level of selfish element to it. Yeah. But obviously he did last night. Yesterday his performance was clearly fueled and influenced by a rapper's death who he's really close to named Nipsey Hussle. They're both out from Los Angeles. Him, Nipsey, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden are all from the same area. This guy was gunned down in his neighborhood, gang violence. A lot of people thought it was a government conspiracy. I'm all for conspiracies. We won't dive into that right now. JFK shot first. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But, it was terrible, that Nipsey. I mean, it really is terrible. But it is cool that influenced Russ. You can tell he had a very strong influence on Russ. Russ probably listened to a lot of his music. He had a lot of very strong influence on a lot of players in the league. It's not just Russ. But his performance, that was very cool that he was able to do that in a sense of him. He was smacking on his chest, talking about Nipsey. But, there is a level of a selfish element to it. I do agree. But it is cool. Again, I'm not taking away from what his performance and what he was capable of doing. And obviously he wanted to do it for his buddy who had passed away, which
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think all of us here will agree. Like, we all love Russ. We love what he does. But like I said, at the end of the day, I would rather not see him do selfish, like, get the triple-double plays. I'd rather him make smart plays, allow someone like Adams, who's taller than him, to go up and grab the rebounds and get him back down the court to go get in a position to score. But like I said, Russ is the MVP. He's gonna keep doing what he's doing. You know.
Well, his performance has got people all over him right now. Hopefully that, because he's got a lot of haters and a lot of critics. So hopefully that this keeps a positive vibe for him. So thank goodness the performance has got a lot of people talking good about him, because not a lot of people usually have a lot of good things to say about him. He doesn't like the media, and you don't like the media, then generally the people watching the media don't like you. So, and I don't tend to fall in that category or that formula, because I know how it is as an athlete. Guys, we got 2 home games left, 2 away. We play Detroit at home on Friday. On Sunday, we play Minnesota. The following Tuesday, we play Houston at home, and then we close the season out on Wednesday, April 10th at Milwaukee. That's it, guys. 2 at home, 2 on the road. We clinched, we finished our season on Wednesday, April 10th in Milwaukee against the Greek Freak. I imagine that game. I imagine the game against Houston and Milwaukee. Not a lot of players of your big time players will be going hard. I'm sure they'll participate, but not.
Well, they're big games for us. I mean, because I'd rather get that
Houston's
7th seed.
Yeah. I'm sure San Antonio would too.
The same thing.
Yeah.
We just better play our best basketball. Period.
Yeah.
We need to beat Minnesota. We haven't beat Minnesota. I think we maybe.
No.
We haven't beat them.
We're 0-3.
We're 0-3 against Minnesota. We need to beat Minnesota. We do. That game against Minnesota and Houston's huge, specifically because they're Western Conference games. But it'll be interesting. As soon as that last regular season game's done, you'll have the MVP votes come in. Paul George will be in the top 3. I imagine, again, I know we've talked about it probably in every episode of this. I imagine Greek Freak will take it. James Harden will be second, and Paul George will be third. But
that's too high for Paul George. He needs to go lower.
What's wrong?
This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with right here. MVP G13. We all know what it is. Okay, I'm spreading black propaganda. Okay, I'm trying to persuade all the minds. Okay, all the voters. All right, and all the writers out there. Everybody who needs a vote for him to go high on the ballot. I mean, he deserves it, man. I don't want to be politically correct, or I don't want to be politically correct in the sense that I don't want James Harden to win it, and because obviously his numbers are a little bit skewed in the fact that he's taken so many attempts. So why wouldn't he have as many points as he had this year?
He's the only All-Star in that team.
Yeah. Well, he is the only All-Star.
He's by himself.
Yeah,
he's got a team. He's got a support team.
He's got a little bit of support, yeah. But in the Greek Freak, I can't take any away from him because it's like, gosh damn it, man.
He's doing
the year Paul George actually has an MVP year, this guy is a freaking freak, dude. Oh my gosh, man. It's like, man, hell yeah, Paul George had a hell of a night. What happened? What did the freak do? Even better. You're like, hey, all right. I mean, but you can't take anything away from him.
This is the Greek Freak's year.
Yeah.
I think Paul, if he stays consistent,
that'll
be his year next
year.
year.
Yeah, there's no reason he shouldn't return, and he's only building and getting better since his injury. He's only gotten better and built consistency. He's not injury prone. You can tell he's gotten stronger. He's finishing with a lot of explosiveness. I'm just glad to see I'm glad to see Paul's had the year he's had. I didn't
leading scorer OKC.
Yeah, leading scorer OKC. I didn't plan on talking about this, but I'm just glad to see that he's had the year he's had since what's happened to him in 2014. For him to put the type of work in and to do what he's needed to do, and he did that for the U.S. national. He did that when he was on the U.S. national team, going for a gold medal too. So it's not like he just did this in the NBA doing his job. He did it going for a gold medal for the United States of America. I mean, there's nothing cooler than that. I mean, obviously, if you're going to do it, you probably want to do it in that fashion.
He's definitely worth every penny of that $136 million that OKC 4-year contract he's got.
I agree, and honestly,
he might be more.
Yes,
they might need more.
Yeah, and that's what going back to what I was trying to say. He's he has not gotten his money he deserves. He's playing until he gets his money he deserves. And then he's going to get his money he deserves. So he should get his money he deserves.
It's gonna happen. I mean, like I said, I promise you. Like I said, if he has another consistent year next year, they're gonna be like,
You got
sign him up.
Oh, got to.
Sign him up.
But here's what stinks: we're paying Russ a lot, so it's got to work out. We're paying Russ a lot. I don't know if you guys heard that. I'm sorry, I said it under my breath. But we're paying Russ a lot, so we got something's got to give here because we need a bench. We got one of the worst benches in the league. We're like, I think 28th, meaning we only play about 7 guys over 20 minutes. Boston plays about I think 9 to 10 guys over 20 minutes. They're deep. They just go man up, next up. I mean, we go about 7, maybe 8 guys depending on the game plan and who we're playing. But yeah, so we got to spread some money out to go get some more caliber players that we can bring off the bench who are reliable,
Yeah, I agree.
and dependable, and late quarter situations.
Consistent,
Yeah, because we got tired around the All-Star break. I mean, we had a phenomenal year, but around the All-Star break, we got tired because you're 3/4 of the way through, and you just are legitimately tired, especially if you're running on a 7-man roster like we were. I mean, obviously, we have 10 people on the roster or 12 people on the roster, whatever it takes for a traveling roster. But,
Half those people don't even see the floor.
well, no, because they're not.
Well, I mean, the problem with that is too. I mean, those guys get that tired. Big time injuries are gonna happen.
Yeah, Paul George's shoulder. There you go. Here we are, battling it right now. But that's it for the Thunder the Up segment. Guys, we'll see how we play Detroit on Friday. I want to move on to the NCAA tournament. We got the Final Four this weekend, and on Monday, we got the championship game. Guys, we did a little poll here at the A&W Athletics to see, honestly, who can bag their own groceries and who's real. Nolan, dive into it. Chad's got Chad's brackets first. Nolan, tell him what Chad did behind the camera.
He's got Texas Tech beating Michigan State in the Final Four.
That wild card, baby.
And he's got
Chad, shut
Auburn.
up.
He's also got Auburn upsetting Virginia, making Texas Tech and Auburn in the finals. And he's got Texas Tech winning it.
Unless Charles Barkley is paying off the officials,
Check.
which I'm said
You shut up.
Wait, Charles
You stay behind the camera for a reason. Nolan's talking for you.
Charles Barkley the athlete or Larry Bird's dog, Charles Barkley the dog?
Oh,
That commercial is ill. Matter of fact, guys, I want to say, Larry Bird, I want to pay respects to you, baby, the white goat. I love you, baby. You're the man. Everybody here loves you. He loves you. He loves you. I'm from Indiana. I promise you, Larry, we love you. I had to pay some respects and some tribute to my boy, man, by throwing this on. The Twins got me this for my birthday 2 years ago. And right after they got me it, we went to the Big 3 League down here in downtown Tulsa that Ice Cube was putting on, that he still does. They came through here on their tour to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was badass. We got to watch Allen Iverson and Russell Westbrook came in, and then Ice Cube had to perform. Corey was in a Michael Jordan jersey, and Chad's dumbass behind the camera was in a Paul George jersey that I put him in. We were pimped out, dude. I wish we could find a picture of that when we were down there. We might throw that up there. It's badass, dude. It was a good little trip.
said it was a great day. What can I say?
But let's move on to everybody else's picks because Chad's picks are ridiculous.
Yeah. And,
Ridiculous.
let's just move on to the next bracket.
Who's-
All right.
who's
so
up?
Corey. We're talking about Corey here. He's also got Texas Tech upsetting Michigan State.
Michigan State won by. It was a squeaker.
I'm with on Tech.
Now he thought a little logically here on this next one. He got Virginia beating Auburn, making Texas Tech and Virginia
Don't
in
happen.
the
That's too
championship.
strong.
Logical
Strong
pick.
game.
Logical
Every game
pick.
they play.
But-
strong.
Logical pick.
He went back to being stupid again and picked Texas Tech
Big
to win
12.
it all.
Big 12, baby.
We don't know what's wrong with them, guys. We don't know what's wrong.
Big
with
12
them.
strong.
Drake,
I didn't know you had Tech beating Virginia.
Hey,
I didn't know you had Tech
I'm
beating
telling you,
Virginia.
bud,
I knew you had Tech and Virginia in the championship game. I
Virginia
didn't
could
know
very
you
well
did what your
win.
brother did. My blood pressure's starting to raise right now.
I gotta stay with
I
Big
get
12.
that they're hot. They're not that hot.
Not hot enough to
You
win.
can't rig the championship
I don't know,
for
man.
them. No.
They're doing it for Bobby, baby.
I'll bet money
They're
right
doing it for
now.
Bobby. No.
Shit, Bobby's in somewhere in Indiana throwing chairs right
He needs
now.
Oh,
you
yeah.
throwing chairs at the championship game, man.
No, what did I put?
so for you got Texas Tech
Yeah.
in the championship.
Yes,
And
I
you got
know.
Auburn upsetting Virginia.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I know you're a Roll Tide guy,
Yeah.
so I was kind of questioning.
All right, look,
this.
I'll go ahead and tell the people. I'll go ahead and get this over with. I'll be politically correct for this. Listen, I got Auburn winning the championship. I will never say War Eagle. I support
You
the
just
SEC.
said it.
You did just say it. You did just say it.
I support the SEC. I will never say what I just said ever again.
Just don't say it.
Gosh, I'm very disappointed.
Moving on to the best bracket here.
The best bracket. He thinks just because he organized the event, he's got the best bracket. Just because he organized the event, he's got the best bracket. And just because those two retards, just because those two retards filled out a bracket doesn't.
Just because you're.
What do you want?
It's just remember, just say 3 roll tides and you'll be forgiven.
Okay, listen. Do not speak unless spoken to anymore. What, Nolan?
So, what's really going to happen?
And that's
this
the show.
weekend-
Thanks for coming out.
So anyways, let me get my
gosh.
bracket out. I got Texas Tech upsetting Michigan State, and then I got Virginia beating Auburn. That's it's gonna be an ass beating, and Virginia's gonna just slaughter Texas Tech too. Virginia,
Nonsense.
all the way, boys.
Ridiculous.
Virginia, we're riding that.
That's it for the AEW Athletic, guys. We'll see you next time for episode 5. We're bringing Kendall Bars on Sunday. We're going to talk about some NFL stuff. I can't wait, man. Got to bring my buddy on here. I told y'all about him last time. I brought this Nimrod on, and then he is still on here. Woo! Chad's behind the camera doing his thing, guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.